Hi everyone! Welcome to Small Bites, short videos by the Eiffel Public Library Innovation Program with tips for librarians developing new services. Today's topic is writing a budget justification for your library project. Hello everyone! I'm Ramunė Petuchovaitė, manager of Eiffel PLI. Today we are going to look at writing budget justification for a library project. A budget justification explains how the planned expenses will allow to achieve project objectives. Libraries develop projects to start new services or improve an existing service. In order to develop and run a new service, the library will need additional resources, which are outlined in the project budget. The budget contains concise information about what kind and how many resources such as equipment, staff, and so on you plan to purchase and at what price. But this may not be enough to convince the library authority or other stakeholders and funders that certain costs are necessary and reasonable. This is why you need to write a budget justification to explain how each expense supports the project objectives and the reasoning behind the budgeted amounts. If you are using a spreadsheet for your budget, add a separate column for writing the justification for each category and different items as needed. If you are using another format like a table, add a budget justification below the budget. Let's examine the key components of a budget justification. First, a detailed cost description. This means you need to break down each budget category, such as staff, equipment, travel, training, and explain in a simple and clear way what the budgeted funds will cover. Secondly, the statement of purpose and necessity links the budgeted cost to the project objectives and work plan. You need to explain and clarify why each cost is critical to achieving what has been planned. Thirdly, explain the calculation of estimated costs. This will reveal your assumptions behind the estimates in the budget, which may be based on ongoing activities, market rates, quotes received from potential suppliers, or historical records. For a real-life example of a project budget justification, let's take the project Mobile ICT classes for schools in the Volta region, Ghana. This project, supported by Eiffel in 2012, aimed to bring ICT classes to under-resourced rural schools, enabling students to develop practical ICT skills and pass their ICT exams. I use the same project example in the Small Bites video on how to develop the budget for the library project. Now I will demonstrate justification for the selected budget cost lines in different cost categories. If you want to see the full budget table with all cost lines under 4 budget cost categories, please watch the Eiffel PLI Small Bites video developing a realistic budget for your library project. You'll find the link below this video in the description section. Let's look at justification now. Begin your budget justification with an introduction. This is a general statement about the total budget and how it supports the project objectives. Include information about the library's contribution and any in-kind contribution from partners. Here's how Volta Regional Library has done it. First, they state the total amount requested, $22,900. Second, they say how the budget is broken down in terms of percentages. 43% for equipment and learning resources, 24% for training library staff and ICT teachers. The remaining funds to be spent on staff costs, 17%, general running cost, fuel and stationery, 16%. Third, they explain that they have not included an in-kind contribution in the budget, but give an estimate so that the funder will know the value of what the library contributing to the project. The next step is to justify the planned cost in each budget category. Let's start demonstration with equipment. Once again, we begin with a general statement about a cost category. In this example, the general statement says how many laptops are needed in total and what they are for. Then the library explained that the budget only covers 7 new laptops because the library will add the 3 laptops it already has. This is an in-kind contribution by the library. Finally, the justification explains where the actual costs come from, the quotation from Ghanaian suppliers. You also attach them for the reference. The justification for the staff cost explains who will be employed, how much time they will spend on the project, and how the library calculated the salary. So the project will need a part-time project coordinator who will allocate about 30% of his or her time to the project for a total of 12 months. The salary calculation is based on the standard public service additional duty allowance in Ghana. Also, the project will contract 2 trainers for a total of 7 days each. That is, 3 days to prepare, plus 4 days for face-to-face training of librarians and ICT teachers. Budgeted amount is based on the average fees for trainers in Ghana. If at the point of writing the budget justification you have already identified potential library staff and experts to be hired, like trainers, for example, consider including the short CVs to demonstrate their qualifications and experience match the project needs. This will make your case for funding and success more convincing. The librarians and ICT teachers in the partner schools will need additional training to run effective mobile ICT classes. Therefore, the budget includes a training cost category with cost lines such as accommodation, venue, meals, and local travel, which I have selected for demonstration on this slide. To explain local travel, the library noted, the 4-day training workshop will be held in Accra, so we have budgeted for local travel cost for 5 librarians and 10 teachers and 2 trainers. We used historical data on travel reimbursement for library staff to estimate an average of $23 per person for round-trip travel. Each participant will be reimbursed during the training on the basis of actual expenses incurred, with proof of payment such as a receipt for fuel or public transport ticket. Finally, let's look at the justification for the last cost category of this project, other costs, which include a cost line of fuel for library van. To ensure that students have the opportunity to practice ICT skills on a regular basis, the library van will visit 5 partner schools every week during an academic year, a total of 10 months from October to July. The estimated monthly fuel costs were calculated based on current fuel prices, the average distance to partner schools, and data on the average fuel consumption of the library van. Any likely increase in fuel prices will be covered from the unexpected cost line, which is also part of the other cost category. I hope after this demonstration you will find the task to write a budget justification much easier for your library project. Before we conclude, here are 3 tips for you to remember. It is a mistake to simply list budget items and estimated cost without explaining their relevance and necessity. You need to explain why each item and amount planned is essential for the success of the project and how it relates to the project objectives. Use simple and clear language. Avoid technical jargon that your stakeholders and funders may not understand. Provide comprehensive description to show that you carefully considered every cost and are prepared to implement the project. Do not forget to highlight in-kind contributions from the library and project partners, or co-funding where appropriate. This demonstrates your commitment to and belief in the project. Good luck and thank you for watching. Please visit our YouTube channel to find more videos in the Eiffel Flip Small Bite series. Bye bye.